Hello and welcome to today's remote lecture on InRoads Lot Layout. We're going to start off with today's agenda here. We're going to go over the requirements for using lot layout, the things that you have to have before you really need to get started here. Okay, then we're going to get into creating the lots and using the tools there, and then we're going to go into the editing of lots and using all the edit features and creating setbacks and using all the different setback commands, and then lastly go over annotating and making our lots look nice. Okay, the requirements. You got to have any of the InRoads suites, InRoads or InRoads site loaded up. I believe the lot layout commands were introduced in 8.2, so most people on the line should have these tools. They are an application add-in, so to actually get these to come up, you have to go to Tools, Application Add-ins, and then they'll be added under the Geometry pull-down. Okay, one important thing to note, one caveat here is you have to have separate horizontal alignments for the front, rear, and one side, okay? So we don't want to have one whole parcel for all of the sides here, okay? And next we're going to jump into creating lots. And what we're going to do is show you how to break up the parcel alignment, because most of the parcels are actually, one whole alignment, a closed alignment. I'm going to show you, we've got some tools to easily break up the actual alignment itself. Okay, then we've got the create lot command. You've got 3 different ways to actually create the lot. Do parallel, radial, or unconstrained. Parallel being parallel from the sideline that you picked. Radial being perpendicularly from the front line, okay? And unconstrained being that you just pick all 4 sides and it just makes a lot for you, okay? So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and step into the product. And I have MicroStation 2004 edition loaded, and also InRoads 2004 edition with Service Pack 1. As I said before, all of these tools are in from 8.2 all the way to present, okay? So most of y'all should have them. Like I said, to access them, you need to go to Geometry, Lot Layout, and you'll see here all the different tools, okay? There also is a supplied toolbar, and that's what I'm going to be using today, just for the ease of clicks and not have to pull these down and slow it down here, okay? So I currently have an ALG loaded, and in that ALG I've got, I'll expand this here so you can see what I'm doing. I've got several different alignments loaded up, and what I've got here is the actual whole parcel. So if I right click on it and just do a view here, you'll see I've actually got a whole parcel, and it's approximately about 20 acres, not quite 20 acre parcel, okay? And we'll just go ahead and we'll view all of our alignments. And I'll go to Geometry, View Geometry, Horizontal Annotation. I'm just trying to get all the graphics on the screen so you see what we have to work with here. Set my mode to alignments, and we'll just don't want to annotate really anything. We're just really worried about viewing these things. And I'll just put a simple star in here, and that's going to be a wildcard, going to bring everything in. And we'll do an apply here. And you can see now what we have is one road coming up 90 and over with the cul-de-sac, and then we also have another road teeing into it, okay? What I've done, and I've also had this line here, this alignment, and what I've called a midline. It's just basically a working line so that we can split this middle piece up into separate lots. Okay, then of course we have the right-of-ways here, and I've used all the InRoads commands to create this cul-de-sac. Don't have time to get into that, but if you go to one of the, I believe it's the Kogo 1 class, you can pull it down and read it. Ron Gant did a good example of how to create these cul-de-sacs and how to offset and join alignments. Won't get into that today, but that's the techniques I use to create these. So I've got horizontal alignments, one for this one, and then I've got this one split, and I've got another one over here, and then another right away here. So those over here at the right, if you look at my InRoads, you can see RW1 through RW4. Those are going to indicate all of the right-of-ways that I've got here. Okay. Really not concerned with the roads today, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete those. Just going to get in our way. Just deleted them off the screen. All right. So those are our basic parcel alignment and all of our right-of-way. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to decide how we're going to lay out these lots and then break up this. You can see this parcel is one whole piece. We need to break it up into separate pieces so that it will not be joined all the way around. And today what I've decided to do is I'm going to work from the top left-hand side here, if you can see my cursor here, and I'm going to work all the way around the back of the cul-de-sac and then down, okay? And so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and I'm going to use a tool that we've got. It comes with Lot Layout, and it's copy alignment. And what it basically does is uses the copy parallel alignment by element, except for the offset is set to 0, and it's a little more automated. But what I'm going to do is copy this first line and this second one, and then I'm going to copy this these other two bottom lines into one, and then this side it'll just be a single alignment. So what I'm going to do is, you can see here I've got my lot layout tools loaded here. Okay, I'm going to shrink this up so that we can see that a little bit better. Bring this up here, and this copy alignment tool is the one that I'm going to use to actually break the parcel up. So we just hit the copy alignment. You can see the prompts down at the bottom left hand of the screen says copy alignment, identify alignment to copy. I'm just going to get close, and I'm going to select this alignment. You see it there flash. I don't know if y'all can see that. And it says identify first element. Identify the top line, identify last element, identify this one. You can see then it highlights and gives me an accept or reject from a data point. Accept that. Same thing. Identify alignment to copy. Come down here. Select this one. Select the two bottom lines, which will be this one for the first, this one for the last. You can see it highlight there. Go ahead and accept that. And then one more time for this last edge. I'm going to identify first element, last element. You can see there highlights on a single element, and I'll accept that. Okay, now if I pull my InRoads back down, you can see then it added a 1, 2, and 3. Just automatically numbers these off the seed there. What I need to do now is just go ahead and delete my parcel out of my geometry project. I went ahead and beforehand saved this to a different geometry project so I can have it for later use. But when we're using these lot layout commands, we don't want it to pick up that closed parcel shape. We just want it to pick up the certain lines, okay? So that's one of the constraints with using this product, okay? So we need to right-click and do a delete there, and we'll just do a simple yes. But you can see there we still have all four sides, and they're actually separate alignments all the way around. Okay, now we're going to step right into the creating lots. All right, and as I said before, I'm going to start over here in the top left-hand corner, and I'm just going to go to the first command here, and this is the create lots. There again, we have the three different methods: parallel, radial, and unconstrained. As I said before, parallel being parallel with the side line that I pick, radial being perpendicular with the front line, and unconstrained just being identifying the four lines, okay? We're going to go with the parallel to start off with. All right, horizontal alignment. This is the actual name of the lot. I'm just going to type in lot space 1. That's what it's going to start with. We could give it a description if we want it. I'm going to leave it blank for now. And the style, I've already got a style created. It's called lots. All right, and then we have these constraints here. And what this does is, if you want a minimum area, you can check this on and give it a minimum area. So if we want to do, let's say, a half an acre lot, what you need to do is, the area here is actually square units. What do you have your units set to, whether it be feet or meters, imperial, metric. If we want to do acres, then we need to do, and I'm just rounding this, 43,560, and we'll do a divided by 2, okay? And this will do math functions in here, and you can see there it divided it by 2 for us. So now this is going to be a half acre lot that we're going to set with. a minimum length. We'll go over that here in a minute, and then dynamic settings. So we'll go ahead and create a lot now, and we're going to hit an apply and identify front line. And this being the front line here that goes around the cul-de-sac, I'm just going to left click close to it, identify back line. This being the back line, the one that goes around the parcel, just left click close to it, data point, and identify sideline. This is very important that you identify to what side of the sideline that you want the parcel to go on, okay? So if I identify over here, you can see it then gives me dynamics and tries to swing the lot out to that side. We don't want that, so we'll reject and come back, and we'll do another apply, and we'll do the front, and then we're going to do the back again, and then we're going to data click on this one. You can see there, if you look on the bottom left of the InRoads screen there, it's going to give you a dynamic area and then the frontage, okay? Same at the bottom of the microstation. It's going to give you dynamics. We use a lot of the dynamic on-the-fly design checks with these tools so you can see actually what you're looking at. We'll just go ahead and accept that, okay? And you can see now that it actually has added our first lot in there, and that the name then goes over here in the create lots and seeds up one, okay? I'll show you how to now use the minimum length. If we use the minimum length, what this is going to do, it's going to use this minimum on the fronts, okay? So if we put this minimum length, let's just say at 150, at minimum, it's going to be, the front and back is going to be minimum 150 feet long, okay? The sides are already set because we're going to specify the front and the back, and then the side would just be either parallel or perpendicular to depending on what method you have set. We'll do an apply here, and we'll do the front line and the back line there again, and then the side line. You can see there, it's going to come along and it's going to ask us to accept it. We'll just accept it, and if we can keep going if we want. You can see it says identify sideline. I'll come back over here, identify this one, accept or reject, and one more, and accept or reject. And now I'm going to data point out because we're coming to this cul-de-sac, okay? And what we're going to do now is I'm going to move this up so we can get a little more working space here. We're going to switch methods. Instead of parallel, we're going to go to radial, which there again is perpendicular to the front line, okay? Which is what we're going to do. We're going to split this cul-de-sac lot into a pie shape, which is most commonly what people will do out there. And we're going to turn off our constraints at this moment, all right? And what we're going to do first is go apply, identify the front line, identify the back line, and identify the side line. Then you can see here we've got a nice dynamic line, and it's going to go all the way around our front line perpendicularly. And we can just set it down anywhere in here and accept or reject, and we'll just do a simple accept. And then you can see it's given us a nice little pie-shaped lot there for us. We identify the side line again, come on around the radius, and we'll just get it close here for today's purposes. And we'll accept that, and now you can see that it's actually brought in the actual other pie shape. Okay, and now we'll go ahead and we'll just keep on going. We'll work our way down, and I'll just identify the side line again. You can see it's going to follow the front line in a perpendicular fashion. All right, so I'll just I'll put this one right about here, and I'll accept it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to back out, and I'm going to show you the dynamic settings and intervals. And what this does is, if I set this to a 10-foot constraint right here, what it's going to do, it's going to, when I'm dynamically pulling this, it's going to snap it to 10-foot increments, okay? So now when I hit apply, come back in, do the front line, the back line, and the side line, you can see there it's real jerky, and but what it's doing, it's holding it to 10-foot increments there. If you pay attention to the bottom of the InRoads or the bottom of the microstation there, you can see it's actually snapping to 10-foot increments, which is nice to see if you're trying to get close to something, but you want your front lines to be a certain length or an even footage, okay? But you want to get it close to something else. So we'll just we'll place this one out here at 150, and we'll accept it. I'll come back out, and I'll turn this off. Pretty easy little tool to use there on the dynamic settings. You can see here if I specify the minimum length, it automatically grays the dynamic settings and intervals back out. We'll keep going. We'll finish up this side now. And I'll identify the front line, and then I'll identify the back line, and there again the side line. You can see it automatically puts it in for us. Okay. And we can identify this here again, but it's going to go out past it. So what I'm going to show you is the last method, and that's the unconstrained method. Okay, so we'll zoom in here a little closer, and we'll hit an apply, and then we're going to identify the front line. We're going to identify now, if you look at the bottom left hand of the microstation, it's going to say identify right side line. Identify the right side line, then they're going to identify the back line, so I'm working my way around. And then identify the left side line. All right, and you can see it's going to highlight there, a little hard to see. And it's going to give you a dynamic area and frontage, accept or reject. I'm going to accept that, and there again, come back out. And now you can see that we've successfully made our way all the way around this. Pretty easy tools to use there. We're going to get into a little more harder to use tools here. We're going to use the create lots, but with this slanted bottom and these arcs at the top, it's going to pose a little bit of a problem for us, but I'm going to show you some techniques to actually work around those. Okay, so we're going to start with this right side, and there again, this what I call a midline here. You can call it whatever you want. I've just extended it down farther so that I can easily snap to it when I need to, because when I start getting these lots backed up to each other, it's hard to actually select the back line. So I just went ahead and I extended it out for ease of use. And what I've done is just basically split these lots in half. All right, so we'll switch our method, and we'll switch it back to radial. Okay, if we went parallel, and when we selected this bottom side line, it would run parallel, and we really don't want that. So we're going to run radially along the front line, with this line that I just highlighted being the actual radial line, the front line. Hit and apply here, and we'll go to the front line, and we'll go to the back line, and then we'll go to the side line. You can see there it's giving us 150 foot of frontage. That's probably a little bit much. That's going to be a pretty good sized lot. So I'm going to back that down, and I'm going to turn this off and just use our dynamic settings. This will be a case in which you might want to use these. Identify the front, identify the back, and the side. And you can see there now we can expand it in 10-foot increments and get it to a decent-sized lot there. You see the area. It's giving us a easy area to look at. So we'll do a frontage. Let's just do 110 foot. We'll accept that. Reset back out, and then we'll turn our minimum length back on. Get some nice-looking lots here. All right, do an apply, and we'll do identify the front line, back again, back, side, and we'll just go ahead and run all these in here. Okay. Then you can see what we're left with here. All right, right now, since this front, if I highlight this, you'll see that this front and side will be the same alignment. Okay, as I stated before, the fronts and sides and backs all have to be separate alignments. Okay, so I'm going to show you in just a few moments a technique on how to actually make an alignment there. Okay, it's pretty easy using the horizontal element tools. All right. And then we're going to come back down here, and we're going to keep going, and we're going to finish this out. And we'll do parallel again. And we're going to turn this minimum area off again, use a setting and interval. We'll do an apply. Identify the front, identify the back, and the side line. And you can see here that it's actually going to snap us here to the line's actually going to go out farther than what we'd like, but I'm going to show you an easy way to fix that using some of the edit tools or actually another method of making this, okay? So we'll do this frontage we'll make this a small lot. We'll do 130, and we'll accept that. All right, now I'm going to reset and turn my minimum length back on, do an apply, front. Now this is why I see this back, what it would do if I selected here, it would actually pick up this other lot. That's not what we want. So that's why I extend it out. Just come out here and snap to this line, and then identify that side line. And there again, We'll just keep going until we get them all in there. Okay? So that's pretty basic on how to create these lots. We'll go ahead and I'll just run through this last side just real quickly. And we'll do an apply. We'll do the front line, back line, sideline, accept, sideline, sideline, accept, sideline, accept. There again, sideline, accept. Kind of left with a small lot there. That's what our editing tools are there for, to move these things around, get it exactly how we want. Now we're left with these 3 odd-shaped lots. It's got the radiuses in it. Now I'm going to show you some quick ways to actually make this. All right, you can see here we're going with a lot 1, and now we've successfully created 24 lots. In just a matter of 20 minutes, we've slammed these lots in here. A lot quicker than doing them by hand. So now I'm going to go to Geometry. I'm just going to simply right-click on this and go to a New. And then the horizontal alignment, I'm going to do the name. We're going to do lot 25. And we'll do a lot 26. And we'll do a lot 27. I'll show you how to make these just real quick. We'll make lot 25 active. And then we're going to come over here. I'm going to show you how to use the tools and the using the InRoads snaps on how to create these last lot just real quickly. Basically what we got to do is do these manually, but we've got a plethora of tools out there for creating alignments and closed shapes. I'm going to show you those techniques right now. So we're going to go into Geometry, Horizontal Element, Add Fixed Curve. I'm going to do this curve first, okay, since that is the hardest one. The mode here, I want to do by 3 points, and I'm going to do an apply. I'm just going to snap to the end of this curve. All right, I'm going to turn my point snap off, snap to the middle of the curve, and then you can see here I've got a dynamic curve. If I turn my point snap back on, it's only going to allow me to snap to InRoads points, so I can get it right on the money. And I'll snap here, and I'll accept that, and come back out. Now what I'm going to do is using the other horizontal element tools, and these horizontal element tools are also add-in applications. So I'll do add a floating line, and I'll do an apply here, and I'll just specify close to here. And you can see here it's trying to snap, and it's going to pull that curve along with it. But if I snap to the actual end point of this midline, it's going to be right on the money. Accept it. I'll do the other line here. You can see here it's going to snap along to different points. Go here, and I'll accept that. Back out. Then I'm going to go to Geometry, Horizontal Curve Set, Add PI. And I'll just add me a PI, and you can see there again it's snapping to points. And add one there and one here. Now we're closed back up. Okay? And we'll come back out. And now we've successfully created a lot there. All right? Now I'm going to show you some of the other tools that actually aren't in the PowerPoint, but this one, what it's going to do, it's going to display all of our closed elements. You can see there. I don't know if hopefully y'all can see that. No, it's what it's going to do is it's going to just refresh. If I didn't have anything, I'll clear the screen here, and I'll can actually show you. If I put this display lots, it's going to draw all my lots in for me. Okay. Real easy little tool. Basically, what it's going to do is going to find any closed element out, any closed alignment out there, and just display them for you. I'm going to do an undo so I can get back to my right-of-way lines also. The next one is the review lot areas. Pretty neat little tool. You just click on it, and it's going to dynamically, you can see it's going to highlight our different lots, and it's going to give us the either at the InRoads or the MicroStation display status bar down there. So it's going to give you the lot name, it's going to give you the square feet, and it's going to give the acreage, just as good design checks. And all we have to do is dynamically pull over them. Okay, and you can even see the one that I created, not using lot tools, even will work for picks up the lot name and area. So what it's going to do is just pick up basically any closed shape. Okay, pretty easy little tool to use. All right, now I'm going to go back in. We'll just finish off these other two lots real quick, work real quickly through those, make lot 26 active, and we'll go back to our add fixed curve, and And I'm just going to kind of run through these real quick and identify the first point, turn my point snap off again so I can hit the midpoint, and then point snap back on, and accept that, come back out, close this, and I'm going to add another floating line, and apply, pick that element, you can see there snapping, accept that, identify this one, there again, accept, back out, and we're going to add a PI. Real simple. Close it up. And now you can see we can actually review that lot now. I'm just going to pick it up. Lot 26 gives us an area, almost half-acre lot. Not too shabby, some pretty good-sized lots. Probably an upper-scale subdivision, I would guess. Definitely not mine. All right, I'm not going to show you that other one. I'd use the exact same process. All right, so now what I'm going to show you, going back to our PowerPoint, and that was basically the creating lots. Showed you how to break up the parcel alignment, so you need to have in mind exactly how you're going to create your lots, and if you want to break it up. If all else fails, you can always just bust the parcel up into single pieces, okay? You didn't have, like I made mine multi-sided because I knew I was coming around that corner, and that was still going to be a back. Then I knew those other two were going to be sides, okay? Then that one individual would be a back. Then we have our three ways of creating lots, the parallel, radial, and unconstrained. All right, next we're going to go to the editing of the lots. We've got insert point, delete point, move point, and move line. Okay? And the neat part about all these editing features is if there's any adjacent lots or points that are actually the same, it's actually going to move both of them. It's going to move both of the, it's going to update both of the alignments for you. So if you move one line, it's actually going to drag the other one with it. If you insert a point on the one edge, it's going to insert a point on the other. So it's pretty nice dynamic tools there for ease of editing. Okay. Step back into the product, and I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to show you how to insert a point and delete a point, and we're going to zoom into this parcel down here. That's actually, you can see it's extended out past it. All right, and that's because of the way that I made the sideline. All right, and after I do this, I'll show you how we could go back and we can make this a little bit simple, but I'll show you the hard way first. So first, what I want to do is just insert a point, and we'll identify this sideline right here. And what I'm going to do is just turn on my intersection snap to this one, and accept that. Okay, doesn't look any different, but now I can go to my move point. All right, and I can move this outer point here, and what I'll do is just move it to this point and accept that. And now you can see we've easily edited this lot to make it look how it's supposed to and actually fit the parcel, okay? Another thing we can do here is the delete lot. Select the delete lot, and it says identify location. I'm just going to data point once inside, and try that again one more time here. And there it goes. You can see it highlighted the correct lot, and we'll do an accept on that. And now you can see it's gone. Okay? Now I'm going to show you the easy way to make this lot. Let's go back to the create lot command, and we're going to do unconstrained. All right? And we'll do an apply, and we'll do the front line, and we'll do the right side line, and we'll do the back line, and we'll do the left side line, and accept it. Now you can see that it quickly made the whole lot. We didn't have to do any inserting, adding, moving. Okay, so I didn't really care that it had that extra piece on there. I just wanted to use it for its sideline, and then I'll go back and delete it later and use it as an unconstrained lot, just as basically as my starter lot to start my rows off with, okay? Since I couldn't actually start from the top because of that curved, started from the bottom, worked my way up, and went back, deleted the lot, and made it an unconstrained lot. Pretty simple, easy. Now let's show you, we'll go up here, and I'll just demonstrate inserting a point and moving a point here. And go back to the insert point. I'm going to select this line. Notice that doesn't have to be the active lot. Okay, it's going to actually pick it up. It's pretty intelligent features, all right, of the actual lot. And I'll just put this here and accept it. And you can see it actually updated both lots, so it's going to move both lots for you if they're adjacent. Okay, and then back to the delete point. Pretty simple. Just doesn't have to be active. Just pick it, and it's gone. All right. So we'll just add a couple in here like so. But make it a kind of a funny shape. We've got to go around something odd there. All right. Then we have the move point. Pretty simple. Just pick the point, move it anywhere you want it, and accept it. There again, updates both lots. Does not have to be active. All right. So those are the delete point and the move point and the insert point. Pretty easy. Now we've got the move line command. All right, this is a pretty neat little command. We'll select this, and then it's going to say identify sideline. I'm just going to identify the sideline right here. And you can see since I selected in the middle, it's going to draw me a big long construction line. And since I made this radial, it's going to follow. You can see there how it makes it radially along the actual cul-de-sac, and it's going to follow, and now I can move my line. So it remembers how it was actually created, if it was radially or parallel. All right, and we'll just move this to, let's say, right here, and we'll accept that. And there again, you can see how it moves both. All right, but if we go back to the move the line command, and we pick to an edge, you can see what it's going to do. It's actually going to pivot. It's going to pivot on the actual point itself, okay? So we can do this side and then accept it, and then if we wanted, we could do this side, and we'll use that lot as an easement or something, and this guy will be happy with this huge cul-de-sac lot. All right? So that's the actual move command, and there again, it's going to move a shared shared line. I went over the refresh here. It's going to view our all of our closed elements, and then the actual dynamic review. It's going to give you the name and the square footage and the acreage there again. It's a big 1 acre lot there. All right. So that's basically the ease of editing. Just a few tools out there, but they're real simple to use. All right. Head on back to our PowerPoint. Now I'm going to show you the creating of the setbacks. Pretty neat little feature. Not sure you'd really want to have horizontal alignments for setback, but what this is going to do is, because a lot of times you just you're going to offset the lines and have them in there, and then just plot them out. You really don't care to have them have horizontal alignments with this, but I don't know any other way in MicroStation to offset an element with multiple offsets on the sides. So this is a pretty slick little tool, okay? And then you also have the added features of reporting and doing offset points and things like that. So when creating a setback, we've got 3 things we need to think about here. The name. Okay, what we can do is we can add a prefix or suffix on the actual setback name to the actual lot name, all right? Or we can have its own independent name, all right? We've got delete duplicate setbacks. What this is going to do, if we decide to actually edit that setback and make a new one, it's going to delete the previous one and add a new one in. All right. The third is resolve ambiguous, and I'll have to go over that in a little bit more detail. But what it's going to do, it's going to allow you to have multiple sided lots and do the setbacks on those. Okay. Because what it's looking for now is the actual 4-sided lot. Step back into the product, and we'll go over to this last command, which is the create setback. All right, setback lines. Here's what I specify. The name, you can do from original, or you can do specify. If you want to have its own. I kind of like having the prefix of SB underbar, so then it's going to add the lot name to it. You could have a description here if you wanted. You know, if you wanted setback or city setback or things like that, or easement, anything like that. Style here, we'll pull one down, and I'll just pick any style here. It doesn't really matter. Something that looks a little different. And then you can see here, I'll zoom in, and we'll start with this first lot that I created, lot number 1. We've got front setback, left side setback, right side setback, and back setback. So you can have multiple offsets. We'll do the front setback as a 20-footer, and the left as a 10, right as a 10, and the back as a 30. Okay? And then you can see the delete duplicate setback lines and resolve ambiguous front and back lines. I'll go over those in just a minute. We'll hit an apply here, and then it's going to just ask us to identify a front line. Pick that one. You can see it's going to dynamically put us in a setback line. You can accept or reject that. We'll just accept that. Pretty simple. Run down through here, and we'll just do these first rows here. Then apply, and we'll do this one, accept it, and we'll do this one, accept it, this one, accept it, and this one. You can see when I do this one, I've got some problems there. Okay, it's trying to crisscross itself, and that's because it's looking for a four-sided lot. All right. So this is where you would want to use the ambiguous command. So we'll right-click this, and we'll come back and we'll say resolve ambiguous front and back lines. What this is going to do, it's going to prompt us for all of the front line and all the back line, and then it's going to know all the other setback lines. So we're going to hit an apply here, and it's going to ask us for the first element. All right, and it's going to ask us for the last element on the front line, first element on the back line, and the last element. And now you can see it beautifully creates a nice little setback for us. It knows the left and the right and the front and the back. Same thing on this. We'll do this one here. Create a nice beautiful setback, even a multi-sided lot. All right. And then the delete duplicate setback lines. All right. We'll just go ahead and we'll turn this off, and we'll do this one and put that one in. But now let's decide we want to edit this one. Since this one's a oddball lot here, we'll take this down to 1, and the back we'll put it at a 1 also. All right, and we'll do an apply here, and we'll come in and we'll identify this front line here, and we'll accept it. And you can see what it did is automatically deleted the first one and updated it. It's got the same name. Pretty slick little tool. Okay, we'll run through here. I'll show you the rest of these. We'll put these back at 20 and 30 here, and we'll just hammer these out real quick. Pretty simple. See, it's handling most of these with ease. Pretty simple little tool, okay? So now we can see that we can easily come through here, create our setback lines. We got the name. We got the different. It can have a separate name. It can have a prefix or suffix, and then we delete duplicate setbacks for updating, and then we resolve ambiguous for multi-sided lots. All right. Then we're going to go over to the annotating lots. All right. We got a couple different ways we can annotate the lots, and to get the information actually on the screen for some nice PUDs or nice plots out there, okay? We have view closed areas. It's going to annotate the name and the actual acreage and a couple other things there if you'd want, and then view horizontal annotation. And I went over view horizontal annotation in depth last week on the WYSIWYG. Highly recommend when it gets posted, go up there and get acquainted with that if you're not. It's a good beginner's class. All right, we'll go back in, and we'll close out the setback lines here. And now you can see that we've successfully created a ton of alignments real quickly and easily. We got all the setbacks here. Real easy to create all these lots, all right? So now what I'm going to do is, first I'm just going to clear the screen. I've got a fancy little button here for clearing my screen here. And then I'm going to go to Geometry, View Geometry, Horizontal Annotation, all right? And I'm going to take this out of here and do the filter, and we'll do none, and we'll just do all these. I really don't care much about the setbacks right now. Don't want to show you the annotation on those, and don't care about the midline, but I'll show you the right-of-ways and the road A and road B. Add those over, hit an OK. And then, not going to annotate anything right now, just want to get it on the screen. See there, we've got our nice pretty lots. Pretty simple. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and annotate these. And to annotate these, I'm just going to go over the Annotate tab, turn on Elements, alright, go back to the Main tab, and in the Annotate here, I'm going to type in lot star. This is going to do, get everything that starts with lot. Real simple, easy, use wildcards in there. And the apply style, we'll do active. Come back over here, active styles, we'll put this on. That way it'll make sure that they're all the lot styles, and we'll go ahead and assign it to them. And we'll do an apply, and it says do you want to overwrite, we'll hit yes. And you can see there, these are a little small. We zoom in, we can see our curve data, all of our different text. We'll go ahead and crank up our global scale factor to, we'll do a 50, large scale. And we'll do an apply again. And there you can see that the curve data disappeared. We could table it if we'd like. There again, went over that in depth last week. And you can see it's simply annotated all of our lots real quick and easy. It's picked up those ones that I made there. Another thing I wanted to go over with this view horizontal annotation is that if it's a shared line, you can see it doesn't annotate it twice, which is real nice when you start moving all these texts around. If you're getting in the way of something, you don't have two sets of text in there. So if it's a shared line, it's only going to hit it once. Real nice little feature. Okay? And then what we'll do now is we'll go over here and we'll go to Geometry, View Geometry, Closed Areas. All right? And here, the alignment, we've got the same thing with the filter, or we could select them all. Annotate here, we got several things we can annotate. The name, of course, which is going to be lot, you know, fill in the blank here. Then we can do the description. Say if this was actual an as-built or something like that, we could have lot 1, but we could have the owner's name in there in the description field. Area, this refers to the square units, whatever units we're working in. And, of course, we have acres and hectares. All right, we can do the perimeter and the dual dimension. Today, all I'm really cared about is the actual name and the acres here. So I'm going to put a lot wildcard again, bring them in, and we'll do an apply here. And you can see here that it's brought in our lot number and our acres. We could modify the text here. We'll tell it to do center, and we'll give it a little bit better looking font. Hit OK, and do an apply. And then you can see there it's centered it up, gives us the lot and the acres. If you want to see the acres out a little farther, you go to Tools, Options, go over to Precision, you take the acres and hectares out to 2 decimal places instead, apply, close, go back into Geometry, View Geometry, Closed Areas, we'll do an apply again, and there you can see it's actually automatically updated. Got my pencil on, so it deleted the first and put the second in there. Update it real simple. And then if we want, we could come in here and we could do the stationing on this road here. Pretty simple. Pick this road and we'll do an apply. Bring it in. Do this road. Do an apply. And you can see we've successfully, not even an hour's time, laid out 20-something lots, done setbacks, almost got something you can plot out, start working with. Showed you the editing tools, showed you how to go and break up the parcel. You really need to think ahead. Either that or, like I said before, you could just bust it up into single pieces, but they do have to be separate. Okay. Showed you how to annotate. There again, edit. We got some nice little querying tools on those, so it dynamically highlights, gives you a lot of feedback while you're actually designing it. Okay, and these are some pretty good workflows that a lot of people actually I don't think know that are there, and I hope that that you got something out of it. And with that, this is going to end today's remote lecture on InRoads Lot Layout.